Good morning, everybody. We're going to be looking at the passive and in particular the present simple form of the passive. So we often say things in many ways, but the two most important ways are active and passive forms. And active is what we usually speak in most of the time, that kind of context, that kind of formality. But then when we want to get a bit more formal and a bit more, have more variety in our language, especially when we write, we use the passive. And you're going to see more of this when you continue studying more academic language. So the first active sentence, for example, is many Koreans eat kimchi. The focus is on the subject. So it's about that the Koreans eat kimchi. The passive of that sentence would be to change the form of this structure and focus on the object, not the person. So kimchi is eaten by many Koreans. We want to look at this kind of action. Okay, the action is the focus, not the people. The passive can be used in many different ways. And the first way is that we don't know who does the action, or it's not really important. So, for example, they make big donuts here. We don't know who makes it, and it's really not important who makes it, but it's about the action that it is being made. The passive is big donuts are made here. Okay? Donuts are made. This is what we are focusing on. Number 2, when who or what causes the action is obvious. So sometimes when we use people or when we talk about police officers or the government, we can use things in the passive form. For example, the active is scientists predict worse weather. We know that worse weather is predicted by who? It's obviously not me. I'm not a scientist. Or it's not by the people in our class, but by people who are very informed, people who are professionals in their field, such as scientists. We could also say something like, the bike was stolen this morning. My bike was stolen this morning. We don't really know who stole the bike, and it doesn't really matter. The idea is that the action is important. Or another example would be, my friend was arrested this morning. Who was he arrested by? The police. The police, it's obvious who arrests this person. So that's another way we can use this sentence. We make it by using the be verb plus the past participle. Is used, is taught. For example, uranium is used to make nuclear power. We have the past participle here, and we have the verb to be. English is taught every day. The past participle, we cannot say teached, which some people use, but it is taught. We are just focusing on the present simple. We use by when we want to know who is doing the action. Worse weather is predicted who? By scientists. Computers are fixed. We want to know by who, so we use that preposition by Thomas. Delicious donuts are made. Who are they made by? By that bakery over there. So if we wanted to change these sentences from active to passive, how would we do that? And I may give you some time to even practice this on your own, but I might do the first one. So they make Toyota cars in Japan. Toyota cars are made in Japan, and I might write that in so you have that. Toyota cars are made in Japan. So people watch movies every day. We don't necessarily need that every day. We could say, we don't necessarily need by people because we know who is doing this. Movies are watched every day. Now, we don't need necessarily by people because who usually watches movies is not animals, not insects, but people. So it is obvious. Justin Bieber sings that song. Sorry. I don't know why it's doing that. But we could say this song is sung by Justin Bieber. We have sing, sang, and then sung is the past participle. Pretty good. So maybe you could try writing some of your own active and passive sentences here.